Hey everybody, Martial Apologist here, otherwise known as Daniel, with a little bit of stuff. A lot of things going on in my head lately. Got an infant son, still haven't really posted videos of him on YouTube. Don't really see much point in doing that. But suffice to say, he takes a lot of time. I love him, but he definitely does take a lot of time. So that's why I haven't really been posting much of anything. At first it was Elder Scrolls Online, which is a really good game, by the way. I may include a link to a review that I actually did for the game about a month or so ago in the links below. But other things that are on my mind, one of which is Christian misconceptions of things. So I was watching a video between James White and can't remember the other guy's name, who is a straight up King James onlyist, and I don't really feel the need to make many videos, if any, on King James onlyism. There are a lot of them out there, and it's pretty ridiculous. But regardless, he was having an argument with this guy, and this guy's entire thing was that because the King James Version Bible says hell almost everywhere, if not everywhere, that the Greek word Hades is in place. We transliterate that as Hades. Um, and also anywhere it says Gehenna, well, even though the apostles and so forth, translated this or translated but wrote it as two different words, well, it doesn't really matter because the King James says hell and that's what he believes. Completely absurd, but whatever. And so it brought to mind a lot of different Christian misconceptions. Because what he had in mind was, well, because the Bible says that he went to Hades, and since Hades should always be translated as hell, it shouldn't. Um, well, when Jesus died, he went to Hades, and then, or he went to hell. And so James White called him on it and said, well, okay, but what about the thief on the cross, where Jesus directly stated, in no uncertain terms, today you will be with me in paradise. And his only response as a King James onlyist, and I guess they all have this view, is that, well, that was Jesus speaking, as a member of the Trinity. He was, me was more like a royal we kind of a thing. And that's ridiculous. And I think it's a heresy. I'm pretty sure it's a heresy. Because Jesus did not go to hell. Joyce Meyer is full of crap. Um, sorry, she is. I know people that like her. Good luck, I guess, but she's a heretic. If for no other reason than that one. Um, yeah. I guess off the bat, common Christian misconception: Jesus did not, in fact, die and go to hell as the place of torment. Hades refers to Hades is more or less the Greek word equivalent for the Hebrew Sheol, which is also usually translated as hell in the Old Testament in the King James Version. But it is not always that it means that. Sometimes it means grave, and sometimes it is translated as grave, and rightly so. It is the land of the dead. In the Old Testament times, that is before the resurrection of Jesus, it would have been whether you were one of the blessed saints awaiting the coming of the Messiah, or you were just a horrible, horrible human being, a murderous scumbag who had no faith in God whatsoever. You would have likewise gone to Hades. The rich ruler, or the rich man that went to hell, went to Hades. The servant Lazarus, or Eleazar, went also to Hades. But there are two compartments of Hades with a gulf that separates the two. One is considered Abraham's bosom, as it was known in the parable. That is paradise, that is the place where the saints would wait when they died. The other is the prison, or hell in waiting, more or less. This is the place of torment already, but later on that Hades will be thrown into the lake of fire, hell proper. So that's actual Christian theology. That's not pop culture Christian theology. I run across a lot of pop culture Christianity. Pop culture Christianity says things like, you turn on the TV, you get like left behind, like, oh well, all these people we just and they're gone, and then the rest of us are just done for, I guess, unless somehow we come to faith and whatnot. And no, not exactly. No, there is a catching away, but it's not. No, Left Behind is wrong. There's also critical stuff like Dan Brown's books, which are absurdly bad. But regardless, so yeah, no, that's the proper view of whether Jesus went to hell or not. He went to Hades, didn't go to hell proper. Um, Other things that have been kind of on my mind: slut shaming. Now, I wasn't really sure what this word meant, so I assumed that well, it sounds like a terrible thing to do, kind of. You're just calling women sluts. Well, that's inappropriate. Shouldn't do that. So look up the kind of Urban Dictionary definition and Wikipedia definition on it. And yeah, apparently if you make any judgment whatsoever about anything sexual towards anyone for any reason whatsoever under heaven, that's apparently slut shaming. If you make any disparaging comment about anybody's sexual behavior or lack thereof or style of dress or anything whatsoever, that is apparently slut shaming. That is, has the culture really become so undiscerning as that it thinks that it is equally wrong to think that there's something wrong with, say, a man walking down the street in a tight muscle shirt, or I've actually seen it wearing a coat, but the coat was open, he had no shirt underneath because he's wanting to show off his abs, and wearing really tight shorts, walking down the street, kind of strutting that around like he's something, and blaming rape victims, because that was apparently part of the slut shaming thing. You would blaming a rape victim is like slut shaming. It's like, oh, you really asked for it because whatever. Like, is there really so little discernment in society now that we can't differentiate between these obviously two different things? It Are we really so insane as to believe that how people dress isn't sending signals to the rest of society as to our status and intentions? Really? Okay, let's take it out of the sexual realm for just a second. I'm walking down the street. I've got a ball cap on with the bill turned up slightly. I've got baggy pants with my boxers pulled up above them. And I've got a wife beater on, and, like a $200 pair of sneakers. Because that's just ghetto-tastic, I guess. You 50-cent shirt, $200 sneakers. That's styling, right? No, and that doesn't send a signal. I'm not purposely sending a signal to society to let them know that maybe I'm into hip-hop culture. Really? I'm a George Jones fan? Maybe? You can't make judgments based on that? I'm walking down the street, I've got a wallet chain, I've got some spikes studded all up in my ripped up blue jeans, I've got really, really long hair, maybe it's even over my eyes, and I'm wearing like all black, and I've got leather wristbands on, and that doesn't send a signal to society as to where I have placed myself in society. I'm not trying to show people something about me. Because I think everybody knows that we are when we do that. And likewise, I'm pretty sure, going on a crazy limb here, I'm pretty sure that if a woman were to be wearing booty shorts and high heels with stockings going up to her booty shorts and a tube top, okay, and have lots of makeup on, I'm not saying she's a slut. I don't really know the meaning of that word in any, useful context nowadays. Um, what I am saying is she's sending a signal to society, at the very least, that she thinks she looks really good, okay, and that she wants attention. Maybe not male attention, for all I know, she's a lesbian. I have no idea. Can't make that judgment. Can't tell just from the way she's dressed. We'd have to have conversations with her. But she's dressing that way to send a signal. I'm not going to say what that signal is. I'm saying she's sending a signal. And for that, apparently. Now, if I just don't like that signal, apparently I'm slut-shaming. Really? Like, stupid. Stop that. That I don't even know where to go with that. That's moronic. Anyway, this is too long. See ya.